All right, welcome to Chalk Talk. I have the Coach Miller from Wildwood Boys Basketball on for the second time this year. Coach, thanks for joining us again. How's everything been?
All right, thanks for having me, man. It's been great. Really busy weekend over here, but it's been a fun one and one that I've been looking forward to for a long time. And now, we got a big one tomorrow night, so it's kind of all piled in a couple 72-hour span here. So
Yeah, for sure. Well, listen, I'm a big family guy, so before we get into sport, we could go ahead and touch base on this. Congratulations on the little girl that you have. You did your gender reveal, and it was awesome. Everybody was tuned in, and it was nice to see you just outside of the gym and to get to see you as a person with your wife and your family and showing that different side of Coach Ryan Miller, with the gender reveal. Congratulations.
thank you, man. It was a really cool moment. I do feel like for about 4 or 5 months of the year, I just live in the gym. So just getting to see all the family and friends in one spot, have everybody around us supporting us, and then all the love we've gotten on social media and stuff. It's a really cool.
Yeah. So, did you know what you were having before the balloons popped out of the box?
No, man, all 30 couple people here, we all found out at the same time. So I had a gut feeling, but no confirmation on there. Only one person at the party knew. So it
Oh,
was really cool to share that with everybody.
oh man, awesome, man. Well, huge game tomorrow for the public. I don't know if it's huge for you and your team. I mean, I guess before we even move any further, is it a huge game for Wildwood and Coach Miller?
Uh I mean it is. I mean, I'm not gonna hide from it. Their JV team beat us last year, and I mean our team looks different. But those kids that were on that JV team kind of have talked about it with their teammates that weren't there and shared how they felt about it. And I think they take it personally. It's the only team that beat those guys last year. But at the same time, I think every game's big for us. Like we're circling on everybody's schedule. Everybody wants to beat us. Like whoever is the first team to beat Wildwood is going to be talked about. And so every team comes in with that mindset. And I told our guys at the beginning of the year, we're going to get everybody's best shot. So if you don't match that, then it could spell trouble for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think a lot of teams understand that pressure of being the target every single game. You know what I mean? It's a total different energy. It's a total different vibe. It's a total different preparation. It's a total different mental makeup to walk into every game knowing that you're going to get the other team's best than to being that underdog. And you've been in this role for a while, and your teams have been in this role for a while. So, what do you tell them on a day-to-day basis, nightly basis, knowing that you have that target on your back?
Yeah, I mean, and it started at the very beginning of the year. Like even when we played Jefferson Academy out of DC, like there was no secrets that both of these teams were undefeated coming into the game. Like so even a team from DC knew. And then, at our mixer, we bring Daniel Morgan down and Mountaineer down, and they know we're undefeated. It's the first thing one of the coaches says to me when he walks in the gym. And so I've just tried to tell my guys, like, I know it's not easy, and quite honestly, like somebody asked me the other day what our winning streak was, and I stopped counting how many games we even played this year because I stopped counting the win streak because my guys get wrapped up in it sometimes. And the reality of it is like we're undefeated this year. I don't care about years in the past. It was different teams, not middle school. Those guys don't carry over, most of the time. Most people are playing varsity in max 2 years. So just telling them every night, like every night's a new game. Every night's a new chapter to Wildwood. And you got to match teams' intensity. And it's been a struggle at times this year. We went, we've started games slow sometimes against teams we probably shouldn't have. And I'm not naive. I know exactly what it is, and my guys have admitted it at some points too. So it has been a challenge, but when you got games like this on your schedule, the hype around it, I think we'll be ready to go tomorrow night. I don't think we will have any problem, having energy coming out.
Yeah, you touched a little bit on the struggles that you've had so far this season. Can you go into a little bit further detail of what you've been struggling with?
Yeah, I mean it's crazy to say you're struggling when you're undefeated. First off, and then like you look at our win-loss record and the scores, and there still hasn't been a game within double digits. But in my eyes, we were struggling. And maybe that's just me being a perfectionist and expecting a lot out of my guys. But we just went through a time there where our decision making was really poor. Um, we were taking bad shots, which led to missed shots. shots that weren't like, and I say bad shots, they weren't necessarily bad, but they were rushed, and there were ones we could have made an extra pass. Lazy closeouts on defense, careless passes with the ball. Just everything to me when I was watching film said we showed up feeling like we were going to win the game, so we didn't have to give 100%.
Hmm.
And so we kind of went full reset after Christmas, probably 2 games after Christmas break. We played really well against Musselman. And then from that point on, we kind of struggled. And after the Shepherdstown game, I think, if memory served me correct, we canceled practice one day and just sat everybody in the classroom. And I told them, like, we're not leaving until we figure this out. And I gave the floor to some of my leaders on the team, and they kind of echoed what I said. And it's big when you have 13, 14-year-old kids that can think like that. They were handled it, in a really mature way, and basically echoed everything I was saying. Like, look, we have been a little bit selfish. There has been moments where we're trying to get ours instead of sharing the basketball. Um, and I kind of told them, like, look, as of this point forward, we don't have any starters, we don't have any captains. We're all just basketball players, and whoever performs in practice the day before or a couple days before, however much time we have, that's who will start and that's who will play in the games. And it's changed our team after we've had that conversation. We've looked like a different kind of have a different bounce to us after that, and because of that, now all of a sudden, shots are falling because we're sharing the ball and we're holding teams to under like 20 points a game. So we've kind of again. I struggle to say like we've turned the season around because it's not like we lost a bunch of games, but we've been a different team.
Yeah, well, complacency is the word that comes
Yeah,
to my mind when I hear you describe what you're describing. So it
yeah,
sounds like the talk that you had has, rid the team of, some sort of complacency. So
yeah.
I think that meeting was clearly, justifiable with the struggles that you guys had, and it seems like you've turned that corner. So hopefully you guys can maintain that. Before we get into the game tomorrow, let's just talk about, as you've got doubters, you've got, what people today may even call haters or whatever, but it may not be haters, maybe they're just doubters. But, you guys played against the team out of DC, earlier in the year, and, people had some doubts because of maybe there were some guys that didn't show up and things like that. And I'm here to ask the tough questions. So, what was the noise that you heard? Did you block it out? How did you feel about it? Can you touch on that a little bit?
Yeah. So I think you know me well enough now that I take things super personal, and it's what kind of motivates me. And even if I don't tell people, it's definitely in the back of my head, and it fuels me. And I share stuff with my team. And after we won the game against the DC school, and yeah, like they were missing a kid that starts for them is in their rotation. They were only missing one. And when you win a game by 30 points, like I went to watch that team, and as that kid's a good player, I don't know if he's making up 30 points for him. And so we kind of felt like we were, as a team, a little bit personally attacked, and not by any one person. Like it felt like it was a lot of people had the same comments and thoughts, and so I shared that with my team, and I think it's been motivation ever since. And then we had the mixer not too long after that, and a lot of people, even around our program, not in our program, but around, we played that Mountaineer team last year, and then the Daniel Morgan team is traditionally a pretty good team out of Winchester. And I told my team we had something to prove, and so we went out and we got up big in both those games, and you could just tell like we took things personally. I think Mountaineer at one point we were up like 25 in the first half. Daniel Morgan was 19 or 20 in the first half too. So you could tell like we had remembered what people had said about us playing good teams. Because I mean, coming into this year, I think people had a little bit of doubt about Wildwood. We lost a lot of good players, like Chet Gore, who's playing varsity right now at Jefferson, getting some minutes. Josiah King, who got middle school player of the year, Tykeem Drake, like Tyon Jacobs, all those guys were gone, and we were just returned camp, and so I don't think people knew what to expect, and I kind of embraced that a little bit and use it as fuel, and we've had to do that I mean, the Jefferson Academy game just added more fuel, I think, with the people talking. So I've definitely used it as motivation, not just for myself, but for my team.
Yeah, for sure. So tomorrow night you go against the team that beat your JV team, and not just that, you go against the coach that was coaching the JV team that beat Wildwood's JV last year at South, and Coach Boat Wilkes. And Boat is very vocal. With what he expects out of his program. Very vocal with how his program is going and the results and the direction that school is headed into. His community's behind him. His administration's behind him. His kids are behind him. And they had a huge win the other night on HTS TV against rival North. And clearly, we all know it's no secret that he's probably had this game circled on his calendar since taking over that job. So you had Boat and South at the mixer, so you got to see each other play. And now tomorrow you face off. I think it's something that the community is looking forward to. What's your mindset going in to this, going against not only the team that beat your JV team, but the coach that was there and so heavily liked and has a lot of momentum going.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. First off, what he's doing at South is great. I've been around middle school basketball for a while, a couple years before he got in there, and they needed that. They needed kind of the guy to come in and it's not just him. It's Coach Cedric Brown too. Like it's been a group effort, and they had to kind of revamp that program a little bit from where it was. South's got a great tradition. It just hit a lull a couple years ago, and what they've been able to do to get it back to their winning ways has been great. It's great for the Martinsburg community. It's great for Martinsburg High School. It's great for middle school basketball around here, honestly. But at the same time, like tomorrow night's not about me versus Boat. Tomorrow night, I could go out and coach the best game in the world tomorrow, and if my kids don't execute, then it doesn't matter. I could go out and coach the worst game, and if my kids go out and play amazing, we're still going to win the game. It's going to be about the kids between the lines, yeah. And I think my kids are ready. They've embraced it. They hear the noise too. It's not just adults talking, and I'm sure their parents don't keep it a secret from them. Like they all see what's being said about it. And I kind of told them that at Saturday's practice, like that the atmosphere is going to be one that, like, just take a look around and embrace it and enjoy it because you don't get these too often. You never know how long you're going to play sports. Anything can happen any day. And so when you get an atmosphere like I think it'll be tomorrow night, you just kind of got to look around and take it in and really enjoy it. And I think if we play loose and kind of just enjoy the moment and go out there and kind of do what we do, then I think everything will take care of itself, no matter what.
For sure. I agree. So what are the keys of the game for you guys tomorrow?
So South is a team that really likes to play up tempo. Now we also like to play up tempo, but I think they prefer to play it a little faster than what we would like, to be honest with you. We really got to limit their runouts. We talked about in practice the difference between a live ball turnover and a dead ball turnover. Like I can deal tomorrow with travels or jump balls or a double dribble. What I don't want is us throwing an air pass and leading it to a run out for them. And so we coached our guards this week, to just value the basketball. Like that's been one of the things that we've said. I've probably said it 25 times in the last 2 days of practice. And the other thing for us is just execution. If we execute our stuff, I feel like we've got the guys that make it difficult for teams. Sometimes we get in a little bit of a rush or we get away from our stuff a little bit, and that's when we go through scoring laws. That's kind of what happened at one point in the season for us, but we've gotten away from that a little bit now. We're back to doing what we do, and I think probably the biggest thing tomorrow night is keeping them off the offensive glass. They play hard, like they really do, and that's a credit to Coach Wilkes. They fly around and crash the glass, and so we got to get bodies on people, box them out. We're not going to try to out jump people, Just do the little things tomorrow night, and I think we'll be fine.
Absolutely. Well, we will definitely be tuned in to the game. Appreciate you taking some more time to join us here on Chalk Talk at Home Team Sports. As always, Coach, it's great talking basketball with you. Congratulations on the little girl, and wishing you guys the best moving forward.
Thanks, Juwan.
All right, talk to you later.
Bye-bye.